Welcome to my stables. I am the DMobo, and welcome back to the table, the adventures of Echoes of the Past. It's been quite a while since we've had an official session. The last session, which was our 50th session anniversary, we live streamed and shit hit the fan. The funeral finally was about to happen, and Kyrish came out of the bubble and remembered about any surprise. And that surprise was reuniting Keith with Grimmeal. However, it was not Grimmeal, but some fuckery had happened. And let's just say body swapping. And she basically suggested everyone who had lost and wanted to be reunited with their loved ones to lie down. Only a select few were able to stay up. And Keith saw Grimmeal walking, heard Grimmeal's voice, and went up to the figure. And that's when everything hit the fan, because Nikana, the councilman, turned on the other council people, killed them, went to turn on Ishtok, but thanks to Korric's quick thinking and phallic ice storm, the threat was neutralized. Toonie started to sparkle with magic power, and Sage and Kyrish know that when this happens, shit is gonna hit the fan, because who knows what kind of fucking magic's gonna happen. So Sage, with the help of her teacher's stuffed special teddy bear, Reginald, was able to calm Toonie down enough. Let's see, what else? Keith had gotten stabbed in the back, and with Kyrish's unseen servant, managed to catch Keith before he hit the ground. And Amora also started sparking with energy. Bert attempted to calm her down, but things got a little out of hand, and Rhea couldn't help as she was taking care of Annie, distracting her from causing any more mayhem. Among this, after dropping Keith, the imposter took off his cloak and snapped it, causing spine-like needles to hail from this cloak, killing some more of the civilians, and with that blood summoned a small army. Korric saw this and managed to cut off the hand of this imposter and pocketed it. And he retreated along with the army. Now, at the head of this army is some familiar faces. There was Cleo and Isana, but one that Kyrish was very hesitant about. Tog, the man of fire. Well, they were actually helping destroy some of the army, but Grog had basically reminded them who they served, and unfortunately, Sage was put out of commission as black lightning arced across her back. And unfortunately, they also had to retreat before any words could be exchanged. Now, the good thing about this, all of this is the dragons broke out of their trance, as well as Kyrish, because violence was not part of the deal. People were supposed to be happy and reunited. No one was supposed to get hurt. That wasn't part of the deal. So at least they didn't have 3 angry dragons also hitting them at once. And before everybody went to bed, Amora was no longer Amora. Corellin, the elven goddess, had come through. And much to everyone's dislike about that, Kyrus basically threatened to commit deicide if anything were to happen to Amora. Everyone goes home, and after a couple hours, Kyrish, Bert, and Amora, they started talking and woke Keith up, and they had a little training session. For Keith was finally had enough. It's like, you know what? We have been wanting to do this. We're gonna go train. Fuck it. So they go train. 2 hours pass. Bert's like, I'm fucking tired. I'm going to bed. However, Mr. Flipple said, haha, no, you're not. Woke not only Berta, but also Korric and Solus up. So they were all sitting together, and Bert's like, Rhea, I want to be I want to learn your ways of a barbarian. Needless to say, Bert got his ass handed to him.
Rhea, when I grow up, I want to be a barbarian. Why, wait!
But another 2 hours pass. Bert finally gets his reprieve to go to bed. So, you have about 2 more hours before everybody else wakes up. Is there anything else you want to talk to Amora about?
She'll look to Amora. I think I have a game plan of what we need to do next. Although I'll need to bring it up with the others. But I guess this does bring up the point as well, given you're also an elf. Had you ever been to Ilya before?
No, I haven't.
Guess it's the first time then, but guess it'll also be probably the first time they've seen an elf outside of our own tribe in some time.
Well, hopefully they're more welcoming than the other elves I've run into.
Really?
Apparently winged elves are barely tolerated in other places. I guess we're too high and mighty for them, I guess.
I've run into any others, and, well, quite frankly, but I'd never met a winged elf until you never even heard of them, so I don't know if that's a case of our tribe's just been that secluded we've forgotten, or maybe the elders were keeping something back. I'm not sure. But the bigger issue I had to bring up with this is... Yeah, Corell.
Her face turns guarded.
My village worships her. I'm just really hoping it doesn't have a kind of knock-on effect with her being inside you or anything. And I really hope they don't find out that she's inside you, because given everything that's been going on, the last thing that you need is whole village pestering you about that. I'm sure I'll keep it quiet if you do. And we'll have to hope the rest do as well.
Oh, indeed, but I've sorted out some of that, and there's an agreement that's made. None of you aren't going to like it, but if she
Just,
comes out, well, it'll be promptly dealt with.
just raise a brow at this. I was kind of hoping it would have been a case of she would have learned to ask for permission.
Oh, there is no asking. It's one
So
of
you
those
just,
my way or the highway type of deals.
so you just wanting her to stay hidden and locked up until you're strong enough that she can try and find her own body, I'm assuming.
Not only that, but unless it's an emergency. However, there's a contingent. If it is an emergency, she has to prove herself and earn her title of goddess. Just like how I had to prove myself to Kyrish that I was a knight.
I mean, I'm assuming you mean each time she comes up, she's got to do that to prove.
Oh, well, just at least once. But it can't be something that a very experienced mage can do. It has to be truly godlike.
She just raise a brow. Well, your brow is still raised, I should say. Just, but aren't I proof of that? We were taught that the only way to get me back was divine intervention.
Amora just, her face goes from guarded to just shock. Wait. That was her?
She was the god that, well, all the gods at one point possessed Riku after we had lost you. Basically, they were the ones that gave Kyrish the sword. That initially was going to be the one wish. They allowed us for one until they overheard Turkey Feather's father kind of interrupting without asking permission from the others. Crown appeared and granted us a second boon. And despite the fact I, at the time, was convinced I should have kept my form, with a better talking from the sage, I allowed her to turn me back into an elf.
Hmm. Well then. Then yes, it is proof, but...
It's not proof that you were witness for, I suppose.
I mean,
Plus,
I am looking at you right now, but... We'll have her do another one.
if she has the strength for it anyway.
Huh.
By the sounds of it,
She
she's just
better.
as good as you are.
It is a little bit... inconvenient. It's like having a squatter for a roommate that won't get the hell out.
I do wonder if this is how Sage feels sometimes. Although I guess with her it's more malicious.
It is
Wait,
unsettling to just have complete control wrest from your grasp. It's like looking out of a window.
hey. Two things just quickly came to mind then. One is, I've felt that before. At times of my greatest rage or greatest despair, I just kind of, I guess the term is disassociate. It's like the body just acting on will. The second thought I had was, if God's power can be that great that it can restore what was lost like mine, could it not help Sage? Could it not rid her of that mark? Or at least rid her of his ability to possess her?
Hmm. You know what? Think we'll have that be her proof of passage. Because from what I understand, no one in this realm knows anything about possession. It's lost magic, yes?
And yet, she's technically possessing you, in a way. Is that what you're getting out of this?
Well, it's more of two souls in a body. It's not a magic type
Yeah, that's fair.
possession.
But even so, the idea of it's been lost to this world, but not to the world beyond. All the greatest minds will have passed by through there. Maybe the gods picked up something over the years.
I would like to know how he got his hands on it, though. I didn't really stay long in the castle. I broke out along with that six-armed god and
My,
got the hell
assum-
out.
my assumption is, since his dad seems to be a god as well, probably found it out from him.
I didn't really
Uh,
stop to talk to the god. It was very empowering, though, to have a god begging at your feet, though.
Wait, six-armed god.
Yeah, big, red and black, had a very deep, resonating voice.
Oh,
Wait, do you know
I
him?
think we've encountered him. Oh no, I was kind of on death's door again at that point.
She just looks at you.
She just kind of returns to looks like, I'm oddly used to it by now.
Yeah, no, fair.
But it was up in Liba when we were tackling one of the dragons. They managed to throw a spell on me that any damage inflicted to the dragon was inflicted back on me. Which, of course, left me on death's door once they plunged the blade into its head to free it of the phylactery. And then he arrived. Said that if we gave him the darkness from the blade that it absorbed from the phylactery, he could heal me. And he agreed.
No catch.
I mean, I guess the catch is he absorbed the darkness in the blade. We don't really know what he's doing with that, but that's a thing.
He didn't do anything extra to you. Didn't give you an extra limb, anything else? Just plainly healed you?
I mean, he gave me my ear back, if that counts.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Usually you have to.
I start to get concerned for my own self-being right now.
She looks over to Mr. Flibble.
Oh,
That explains why I wasn't hallucinating.
does that count as a side effect?
She looks between the two of you.
He only appeared after that happened. Well, appeared in a physical form.
Yep. So. Maybe. Technically, Mr. Flibble was an illness of some sort.
That's the case, then.
I will be a plague upon the world. I will shed everybody's blood that gets in our way. Yeah, okay, Mr. Flibble, you do that. With your 3-foot tallness.
If we've learned anything about this kind of situation, it's that he probably could. Height doesn't seem to be taken into account with this stuff, plus I'm not entirely sure, but I think he might be indestructible.
I mean, since he's physical, everything physical bleeds.
Yes, and almost everything physical can also die to poisons, yet he took a bite from Lux and just tanked it.
I have my ways.
And that's the concerning part, he doesn't want to share those ways. Which I get, I mean, if you had a strength that no one understood, you wouldn't really want sharing it.
That's for me to know and you to possibly find out. If you live long enough to find out.
I want to take offense to that, but fair. I mean, I am the only one out of us all who's... No. She pauses as she's about to finish that, and then... I guess I'm not anymore, am I? I died, I came back. You died, you came back. Camille died. Pete died.
A lot of people have.
It's becoming a case of we
Who
can't.
hasn't?
Well, that as well, but we can't afford to keep coming back or waiting around for us to come back. We've already seen what happens with Pete when that happens. We need to treat every possibility of death going forward as our last. The alternative might be worse.
Mr. Football looks around. Man, this is so fucking depressing! You know what? I'm gonna make this fun. And he's gonna hop off the table. And he's gonna run over to Cricky and jump on her head. Cricky.
Oh, not again.
Come on, puppy, let's play! And he baps her on the nose and he starts rolling around on the floor like he did the last time. And he jumps at Kirish's door and starts banging on it.
How much noise is this making?
A lot.
I'm having flashbacks.
Oh, here we motherfucker go. Alright.
So Kyrish, you're asleep and you hear the faint sounds of soft thudding on your door. And you hear muffled yelling. And you feel heightened annoyance coming from Lux. And then the soft thudding turns into a huge thud, like someone trying to kick in your door. Rhea, you just see Cricky start to go after Mr. Flibble, and he waits until the last moment until he rolls out of the way as Cricky runs into the door. Ooh, I hope the door's alright.
Trust me, the door's probably taken more damage than either of them put together.
Can I make a listen check to see if I'm woken up by this fucking fuckery?
That'd be a will save, sir.
Will save.
Also, she'll just slowly look to Imora and be like, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Rhea, as soon as you say
now I
2...
need to roll a 1 to 100 on whether or not I'm even wearing anything at all. I'm just naked, shit swinging, and I'm kicking a door open and football punting a penguin.
Amora just... She stands up to go chase the penguin, and she just sees Bert, and she sees the side profile, and she just turns away with her hand over her facing the hallway and looks at Rhea. Bert has taken upon Korric's favorite outfit.
Huh, how was the second off? Wait.
Upon roaring and kicking in this door, what is the scene before me?
Kyrish, you said you were throwing open your door, correct?
Yes, it's just Mage Hand opening the door, and then all you see inside are just glowing eyes, and then they disappear as he tries to go back to sleep.
Wait, is it 6 today?
Bert, you just see an open door and darkness inside. You do see the light blue runes, the floating ones from Kyrish and the solid ones from Lux. And you see Cricky getting up, recovering from her slamming into the door, snarling, going after none other than Mr. Flibble. And Korric, you hear a solid thud on your door as Mr. Flibble waits for Cricky again to run into the door.
At this point, Flibble better hope that he is indestructible, because I'm pretty sure he's going to have half the house want to kill him now. Also, did I hear you right, Imori, in what you said about Bert?
Uh-huh.
Do you have a flower that kind of counteracts the flower that you gave us right when we first met? I'd like to forget this.
At least you... Okay, I didn't see anything, but
God.
I didn't see anything too personal, but I just saw the side of no pants, so...
Luckily, the beard covers it all.
Fuck, for real.
Mr.
Looks like a
Flibble
freaking
rolls...
Ewok.
Korric, does this door slamming wake you up?
Nope. Dead to the world.
Hmm. Mr. Flibble runs from the door, sees Bert. Oh my god! You're fucking naked! My eyes! My eyes! Oh, look, another door! And Kyrish, you hear this screeching, and you also hear the low hiss of Lux. This is her hunting hiss. Wow, it's really dark in here.
On the plus side, I think we found his weakness.
Is he in my room?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, how much does Flibble weigh?
He weighs 5 pounds, dear.
Oh my god, I am picking his ass up with Mage Hand. I am yeeting him the fuck back out the room.
Oh, tell me he comes past me, because I want to swing on him.
Oh.
Attack
Kyrish,
of opportunity.
Are you like aiming in a specific area, or are you just yeeting the penguin?
Oh, no, he's just going out the door.
Bert, you see an outline of light blue magic, and it goes into a hand, and you see it encapsulate Mr. Flibble, and you just see Mr. Flibble flying towards you.
I am going to take a swing with my weapon that is in my hand that was laying next to the bed that I grabbed when I got through the door. And that would be my Dwarven Warhammer.
Alright, roll a reflex to see if you actually hit him.
Remember when I said, if anything happens, it's on your head, because you're overdoing it.
Holy shit, Rhea. A penguin that flies.
Is it bad that I'm oddly used to him doing this by now?
Wait, he's done this before?
So my reflex is...
Well, Urkel's flown.
Oh, he's lucky. I rolled really low.
You...
7.
You miss, Mr. Flibble. He actually, with the trajectory, you miss him with the Warhammer, but he goes over the Warhammer, hits you in the stomach, and bounces off in the middle of the hallway. And your Warhammer actually goes into the door and breaks the door. Kyrish and Korric, you hear the crunching of breaking wood.
Well, this is Kirish's door. He's probably gonna fucking say it.
No, this is the door to Bert's room that he was staying in.
Oh, screw him then.
Why do I have that one bloody Adventure Time scene in my head? Just level 5 videos all catches it. Well, who told you you could fly?
Amora just stands up. Oh, this is gonna get out of hand. And
That didn't sound like a penguin smash. That sounded like a wooden smash.
yeah, and Lux, no. And you see Amora like start to bend over with her arms outstretched, like starting to toddle towards Mr. Flibble. And Kyrish, through your bond, you feel great satisfaction. Oh shit! Get! Oh, stop! Oh, stop it!
Why?
Do you peek around the corner, Rhea?
I do.
You see Lux. You don't even see her head. You see her tail just slowly wrap around Mr. Flibble's ankle and start to drag him back into the darkness of Kirish's room.
Oh, damn.
Help me! No!
Giggity.
No! Let me go, you stupid reptile! You legless lizard! Let me go! Snap!
Rhea's gonna get up and walk over and just pick up Flibble and By association looks.
As you start to walk over, Amora puts a hand out. She's taken him into Kirish's room, and I don't know if Kyrish adopts Korric's attire when he goes to sleep either.
I'm less worried about that. I'm more worried about Lux trying to eat Flibble, being unable to digest him, and both of them just having a really shitty day.
Right. Kyrish? I really hate to bother you. Are you awake?
You're just gonna hear some, like, soft mumbling, and then you're gonna see a streak of light from, Ray of Enfeeblement being cast on Flibble.
Okay, so he's awake, and
then he's gonna get thrown right back out.
With Lux attached.
Bert, do you see Mr. Flibble along with the Lux attached to his ankle? Do you try to swing at him again?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Reflex. Korric, all of this commotion is still going on. Do you come out of your room?
Sure.
Okay. Are you clothed?
I'd be surprised.
That's a good question.
Out of hand.
Why I did it 50-50 on the die 100?
This is getting out of hand now. There's two nude of them.
No.
You are not clothed. Okay. Bert, you bring your...
What is it with the
my
guys?
reflex was a 23.
Bert, you bring your hammer back, and Rhea, you and Korric, you see Mr. Flibble just flying from Kirish's room back over to be, and you hear Bert it to satisfying a smack, and you see Mr. Flibble. As he flies back into your room, Kyrish, you hear a good crack coming from Mr. Flibble, and you hear like the crackling of ice start to foam over him. What the hell? Why is it so cold? And
He's a penguin. I figured you'd like the ice.
I don't mind the cold, but actually being in ice and I can't move. Kyrish, you hear Lux ever so slightly. I have you now, motherfucker. And do you kind of look at her as she says this?
He's just like laying in bed staring at the ceiling at this point, like, you're all so cringy as fuck. Why?
Rhea's gonna say and just walk over to him.
Go to bloody hell to sleep!
As you hear this, Amora looks up. Oh, hello. Oh my gods. And Rhea, you are just faced with a horror-stricken Amora and her wings kind of just taking up the entire hallway. Korric is also not wearing any clothes.
What
That one
is new?
That one I'm oddly used to.
You're used to seeing him naked?
Not by Korric. Yeah, I'm used to seeing Korric naked. He just wanders around like that all the time.
She just drops her wings. You know what? If you're fine and he's fine with you looking at his pieces of parts, that's fine, but I am not going to be part of that.
Amora, he quite literally paraded through a town like that.
Nobody's
I
telling
don't think
you to
any
look.
of us have I don't think any of us have a choice in this.
I'm not
It's
saying
not like I'm
anyone's...
waving things in your face.
Still, it's just something to naturally look at because you're just like, why are you not clothed? Anyway, as she backs
Nobody
up,
cares when a horse walks around without clothes on.
because their dick isn't hanging out for the world to see.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
She looks at Rhea. You know what? And she just
Hence
backs
the
up.
term hung like a horse.
Yeah, I'm with you with this one, but unfortunately I do have to just... She's just going to pick up Flibble and just try and just... Is Luck still on Flibble?
You go into Amora backs up so you don't have to look at naked Korric, and her wing blocks your view, Bert, so they don't have to see naked Bert. And you just see the white of Mr. Flibble, and you see the blue runes of Lux. Help! I can't move and I'm cold.
It's alright, I got you. She'll pick him up. I got that, it's cold.
You also feel the coldness of Lux. Oh, hi.
This is probably... I don't understand you, I don't speak snake butcher, but this probably isn't comfy for you either, given you're a reptile and therefore you need the warmth. So it might be better for you to let go.
If a snake could raise its eyebrow at you, she would. I mean, I have been on my heat rock all night, so it's quite fine. And honestly, I'm getting enough little warmth of the ice has melted off. It's actually kind of nice and refreshing for my scales.
Kyrish just yells out of his room, "She can't understand you!"
Then translate, you lazy fuck.
I'm trying to sleep!
Oh, everyone else is awake anyway, and dawn's about to break. So put your yourself.
Put your big boy pants on and get out here. Or leave them on the floor like we all did.
I do not want to see any more naked people.
I'm so glad I stayed in my room. Oh, fine, I'm up. Are you all happy?
We were going to let you
Not
sleep.
particularly.
Me and Rhea were going to let you sleep, and then Mr. Flibble got flibbly and woke everyone else up.
Yeah.
Rhea was nice enough to make food and coffee for everyone. So let's all get clothed and have breakfast.
Wonderful, Rhea, you are my goddess. Thank you.
You can thank me by asking this one to let go of Flibble so I can try and defoul him. No offense, Lux, it's just... I get why you're doing this, actually. Flibble's a handful.
Bird turns around and goes back to his stuff.
I need to keep a closer eye on him, but I'm still getting used to him just not being in my head.
Kyrish isn't quite out of the room, but he sticks his arm out, and Lux lets go and goes over to his arm.
She reluctantly does so. Stupid ass penguin.
Well, I agree. Please just save it for the actual waking hours, yes? This is all said in Snake.
I'll warm the tea and coffee back up for you all. Just don't drink that one part that's to the side with the food that... Well, the one that's on the tray. That's been put to one side for Sage. Speaking of which, I wonder if she's still asleep from all this. She's gonna go check on Sage.
You peek open the door, and she's taken over the entire bed. She has one foot hanging off. One is above her head. The other one's hanging over the floor. Darling is splayed flat out on her chest, and they are both snoring very loudly.
She's gonna take one of the little side blanket kind of things. Just wrap Flibble in that to get him warm back. Well, get him back warm again. Alright, well, everyone's having their breakfast, given temperature's running high. I've got a job for you to do, Flibble.
Oh? Do I get to kill somebody?
No, you get to do this. Just gonna place Flibble next to Sage, who's probably then just gonna cling. Just cling.
What the hell am I doing? What
You're providing comfort. You're providing comfort.
She's already asleep! And her bird's doing that.
Yes, but this is also helping you warm up faster, so win-win. She'll give it chocolate, then just close the door.
As you close the door, you hear him say, "So, darling, how are you?" And you just hear a very loud, angry caw.
Oh, I'm gonna regret this. And then she'll go back to the kitchen.
You very likely are. As Kyrish comes out behind her.
So, heard you got your ass kicked by Bert.
Oh, shut up. Really?
It's fine. I'm just
That's what I have to
starting
deal
to.
with now.
It's fine. I'm just starting to build the tier list for us all.
It's alright. I got my ass kicked by Keith.
That's alright. Bert got his ass kicked by Korric.
What?
Yeah, and, well, Korric landed the final blow on Bert.
Oh.
I'll be honest, he harbors a lot of potential. Just
They both do.
wish he would use it.
They both
More
harbor a
often.
lot of potential. Also, did you know about that? Bert wanted to learn how to be a barbarian.
Ah. He doesn't already rage out enough?
He has a lot of rage in him, but he doesn't use it as fuel. I guess
Oh.
this is his way of doing so. What was that term we used? Righteous fury.
Well, as long as it stays contained within his pants, I don't care.
You're never going to believe this.
Oh
He took a
no.
lot of beatings and he didn't shit himself once.
Wow, that is impressive.
Indeed. He's
We're
learning
working-
self-control.
This is an entirely different team now. Who are these people? Who are you?
When I hear this, I'm literally going to walk out with a bottle raised to my lips and start drinking. Trying to hide the blush on my face behind the flush in my cheeks that would come from drink. Because,
Oh,
yeah.
so you will eat up, drink up, get yourselves ready for the day. I've got a proposition I need to make to you all when you're all ready.
Oh, who are we killing now?
Hopefully no one, but never have that off the table.
Oh, I'm about to kill this fucking penguin if he doesn't shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. I already tried. You might as well just
Good
wake
luck!
up.
I weakened him a bit for you.
Keith, it's too early in the morning to kill anybody. What? I don't want to kill anybody, especially in the house, because that means we gotta clean it up. Hell no. Wait a minute. Cricky? Where the hell's Cricky? And the party sees Cricky and Solus walking side by side.
I think they're catching up.
Oh, alright. That's fine. I thought she might have ate the motherfucker.
No.
one can only hope.
I think they just have more on the out.
Keith stretches and starts patting his pockets. And he starts doing it a little bit more quickly. And then he just upends everything in his pockets and his bag.
Are you
Where's your keys?
well?
Where is it? I had it when we went out. Oh god.
We may be able to help if you don't do the pronouns game.
The crystal sword I made when we had to burn We may had to...
Where's the sword?
I must have dropped it. You guys enjoy your breakfast. I'm gonna go out and look for it. I'll come back.
You could try asking the dragons
Hey,
if they know.
before you leave, I do have the ability to find it. I've seen it, right?
Yeah, you have.
The sword? Okay.
I just need an extra drink from this to put the points into perception.
Oh, no, I didn't even I forgot to, tell her which bottle I was drinking out of, didn't I? Yeah, I'll drink in the dwarven room. That stuff was good. Made me feel good.
Good.
So clear out your insides.
I just needed a sip so that I could wet my lips because I'd been, sleeping. I had gotten woken up. I grabbed my hammer and my ale, or my hammer and my, rum. Because who cares about clothes? You just need to get rid of the cotton mouth from snoring all night. And gotta be able to smash people with your hammer.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome. I'm glad it tastes good. I will catch you later.
And he leaves everything on the floor
Who was?
and runs out the door.
Who?
Keith.
Oh.
Well, that was sudden.
Wait.
Should we go after him?
No, I think.
Not before coffee.
No, I think we need to have.
Okay. And she kind of like looks towards the door as she gets up. Bert, how many sips did you take from the rum?
2 shot.
Bert, pick a save.
Will.
Lose 4 points in your will.
No.
Second shot.
I'm gonna go with reflex.
Lose 1 in your reflex. You take a drink, and as you drink it, it's like, it starts out as the perfectly spiced water, but then it almost gets like a sour aftertaste. Almost like...
Like bad moonshine. If wet cardboard. Tastes like crap.
And you haven't had dwarven alcohol in so long that you forgot that it has to be drank in moderation. Even you remember that when you were left with the dwarven clerics before Ardnog, that they only brought out dwarven alcohol on special occasions. Birthdays, funerals, weddings, anniversaries. Not every day.
Orgies.
As Bert makes the sour face, you all see Korric pull something out of his bag, and it is a severed hand.
Are you feeling okay there? But what the?
This is handsy.
Really, bro? At breakfast? The hell? Thing stinks.
Handsy doesn't like to go to nice places.
Knowing you, Korric, I wouldn't assume so.
I
Wait a minute. What do you? Wait. Whoa. Korric. I mean. Whoa. Really?
Yeah.
I really need to
Plenty
stop
of
being
woes.
amazed by all of you.
I don't. Am I understanding you correctly that you're carrying around a hand for what purpose?
Handsy
Certainly
stuff.
not sexual.
I don't know.
Why?
Why not?
Why carry it around?
Did you want me to leave it in the dirt?
is it still functional?
I don't know. It's a hand. It does hand things.
What do you mean it does hand things?
You can shake with it. You give peace signs with it. You do high fives with it. Can do low fives with it.
So
And things.
how is it gonna be a couple more days when it starts to deteriorate and decompose and stink real bad? Do you think we're
I
gonna
think we're,
want
I think we're missing over the bigger question of whose
to?
hand
Whose
is it?
hand was it?
Yeah.
That guy. I don't
I mean, clearly, like, how long you been carrying it around for?
8
The severed
hours.
hand.
There you go.
Okay.
I thought it was
Okay.
Gramil, and so
Yeah,
I
it
cut his
is.
hand off, and then it turns out it wasn't Gramil.
So you
But now I
kept
got a
the
free hand.
I am really glad that Keith is not here to hear you say that you cut off his best friend's hand.
I'll
But
cut
it
Keith's
wasn't.
hand off.
I'd
Whoa,
let
whoa,
Keith
whoa,
kill him.
whoa.
They'll be all right. They'll be matchy stub buddies.
Oh my god.
Stub powers activate.
Stubby.
Wait, you said Gramil's hand, but didn't we burn his body? We watched Keith burn his body. Everyone that is looking at the hand, roll a spot check for me.
Kyrish is trying his hardest not to look at it.
23.
You know what? I'll do it with disadvantage.
But
26.
I had a 22.
Alright.
Unnatural 20.
Alright. You all notice that it certainly looks like Gramil's hand with the pigmentation and the scales. But you can see along the sides of the hand and almost like an outline, there's stitching.
Like it was sewn together.
Let's see. Korric, with you looking at it, you notice that where the stitching is, that the skin is bunched up. Like there was too much there.
Hansy has extra skin for some reason.
Oh, don't tell me some psychopath sewed on skin. Oh.
Seems to have some stitching holding. Wait a minute.
That's disturbing.
Hey, stretch out the skin. You take a closer
I
look.
thought I wasn't allowed to do that anymore.
Giggity, giggity. Yes.
Oh my god. Bert, what are you doing?
I'm telling him to stretch out this, like, smooth out the skin or stretch it out to where, like, if it looks like it's wrinkled, like, you know what I'm saying? Pull it taut, see what. Why is there extra skin? What the hell's that about?
Riku's
Like,
head
close
kind
to
of
look.
pops up at your shoulder. Stitching, you say? Do you mind if I take a look?
Be cautious, but sure.
She has her gloves on and she pulls out her surgical kit. And she looks at it. This is stitching normally used for when you're patching a wound up. Like if someone needed stitches. And she pulls out some tiny scissors and she starts cutting the stitches off. And she turns her back to you guys. And... oh, good gods. Oh. So... I'm not going to show you. This isn't the original skin.
You can tell that.
When I cut off the stitches, there is no flesh attached to the hand. This is basically a reskinned hand. So whoever was attached to the hand, their entire skin was basically...
Skin suit.
yeah.
So you telling me they're trying to build somebody by putting pieces together?
I can't tell, but the thing is, for someone to be skinned, to have it put on another skinned creature, they were dead.
Oh,
No one
Oh.
can survive being skinned. Obviously.
oh,
Partially?
right.
Or is it one person's skin or many people's patchwork of skin?
I would have to see
I-
the entire body.
I think I'm starting to realize something. Mainly because of what my initial thoughts were when I saw Annie yesterday. We remember
Me.
being told that things and people are going around impersonating us lots, yes?
Yeah.
Doppelganger. What better way to do that
Skinwalkers.
than... Exactly.
Skinwalkers.
Oh. Kyrish, this is a stupid question, but there's running water in this house, right?
I can run some water.
I can create water.
Yes, yes, there is.
Then you better go catch it!
God damn it.
Oh my god.
All of this is wrong.
Oh, you knew
All
this.
of this.
Wait. That was, yeah.
She puts the hand under her arm so you don't have to look at it as she walks past, and she turns the faucet on. Oh my god.
What?
The skin's not orange, it's blue.
Blue skin.
Blue meaning.
Is that the princess?
It's the same shade
Oh.
of blue that was the princess.
Yep.
Oh,
And that body was the one that,
Oh.
remember? It was
Well, there
the
goes my
princess.
breakfast.
Yep.
so
Yep. Mm-hmm.
that's the princess's skin. Then whose flesh is that underneath?
The fucking psycho that put it on, of course.
Wait,
Yes, but which psycho?
that explains it.
Who cares? He's dead. At least lost his hand.
She
But if
looks
it's
up.
not a he, and it is the princess.
Amora stands up.
But
That
you've learned by now,
explains.
Kyrish. The dead don't stay dead around here.
If it comes back to life, we burn it. I cannot form attachments to bodies, alive or dead, anymore because of these fucking psychopaths running this continent. Do you know how frustrating that is?
Turkey Feathers needs to die.
Just gonna look to Kyrish
Bloody
with
well,
just a raised
Sage.
brow. Given what has happened to practically every loved one I have, yes.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. See, forming attachments just means that they're just going to come back and try and literally kill you.
So are you saying that you're all gonna try and kill me? Or that Sage is gonna try and kill me?
No, we're going to burn you is the difference.
Yeah, you can't reanimate Ash.
Make sure I'm dead first before you do so.
Of course.
We'll attempt. No promises.
Riku. Yes? Can I see the hand? Yeah? I thought it was odd at first when I saw Grumil wearing my armor. It's not possible. Grumil was a little bit shorter, but he was wider than I was, so he wouldn't be able to fit into my armor. But
She might.
the thing is if this princess, the thing is if it was to her body, why would the skin be stitched? It doesn't make sense. She goes over and she inspects it. Don't put it so close to your face. I need to look. Use a glass here. And Amora just takes her hand and pushes Riku by the forehead back. Oh. She looks horrified at the party. We didn't burn Gramil's body. That was Lasaia's body we burned. She gives Riku the actual hand. She brings the... Rhea, could you clear the table so this doesn't get anywhere near the food, please?
All right, I guess you're all eating off the countertop. And she'll start to move the stuff.
When there's a
Oh, God.
clear...
Why did you pulse David Firth?
When you clear a path for Amora, she lays the piece of skin on the table and she takes her fingernail and she starts scraping at the scales. And the blue flecks off to show orange. It's painted. Whoever switched their skins painted them twice.
Why?
Because when we found the body here, it was blue, and then water took it away to orange, to Gramil. It was Gramil's flesh and blood and bone that we burned, but not his skin. We burned a Lasaia's skin, so there is still some sort of Gramil out there that can be brought back. And that's why it was stitched, because Gramil's skin was obviously too big.
Wait. So, we burned Gramil's body, but Gramil's skin is still out there. But it's not Gramil in the skin, it's Princess's flesh in the skin.
Can I see the arm, please?
Then surely it'd be the princess that would be brought back.
It's a hand.
Or the hand? Can I see the hand, please?
I guess you can hold handsy. He likes rubs behind the thumb.
So,
Don't name it.
so very carefully, I'm going to hold. I assume it's just the wrist, cut off the wrist, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the skin.
Okay.
I remember a time at the temple when I heard the other cleric masters talking about resurrection, and what was needed was just this piece. I believe if I take this to the temple, I can get a way to bring back Gramil.
Hey, what if I know it's probably unpopular opinion here. What if we don't?
Yeah, I want to hear the rest. Let me know. Let's go.
That's
What's the rest of your thoughts? What if we don't?
What if we don't
Then
take
we're
it to
one.
take it to the temple and
What
find a way
was
to conceal
Gramil?
it?
Like just a fighter? What was Gramil's
You have
class?
no idea. You never asked him.
Why would I ask Gramil such a thing?
Huh.
The man's probably saved your ass more times than we could count.
Yes, he's been a part of this.
Here's my question.
What do we get if we do bring him back? Another
More-
ally? Another set of hands? Another ally? A like-minded individual who could be there when...
The hell are you talking about bringing him back?
Like I said, with this skin, I can take this to the temple and speak with the clerics and I'm going to barter a deal to be able to resurrect him.
Why? So this psychopath can corrupt the spell as it's happening and turn him into one of his servants.
She's just gonna look to Kyrish. He didn't do that when he with me.
For all we
But we
know,
don't
he's
even
the
know it
reason you had the
happened.
horse.
Right now, this demented, whatever you want to call him, has his eyes on us 24/7. You think
Kyrish,
he's not going to know that we're doing it?
Kyrish,
I count on it.
he has the rest of the skin anyway. If he's going to bring Gramil back under his control, he's going to do it whether we do this or not. If we do this, we may be able to beat him to the punch.
You realize this is an absolutely mental idea, right? Yes?
It was a mental idea bringing me back. Yet you all did it.
So this is
We were
what
all a lot stupider back then as well.
So this is what I've come up with. This is my idea. Fuck it.
Not
We
to
just
say
do
that I
it.
don't appreciate you, by the
We
way.
just do it. We bring him the fuck back. You know, turkey feathers. Supposedly watching us, blah, 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 knows every fucking move and blah, blah.
How are we going to resurrect without a corpse?
I got an idea, and like I said, if you'd let me go take care of a couple things real quick, like I could probably be back in before you guys even really missed me.
Well, here's the thing. 2 things. One, we should get the entire skin, because we don't know if the soul is going to be put back into the body of where the most skin is.
For all we know, it could just end up being an animated hand.
Exactly. We don't know. Without Gramil's full skin, we could either be bringing Gramil's soul back into the princess's body, but we should also ask Keith on how he feels about this.
Oh. Am I the only one that can't help but thinking that
I suppose
poor
if we
Gramil
don't
was
do it,
actually filleted alive or something?
good God.
No, he was not alive. He was already dead. I checked his
You can
his
see
pulse
it in
and
the
his breath.
skin. You can tell when something's been skinned alive.
We
The
don't
tissue
even
isn't
know
as dead.
if any of the bodies that we've actually seen were actually Gramil's. That's
Ooh.
that's the worst part of any of this.
All right, so you're right. We could be just being fucking run down a lead, like that could be. Wow, I didn't even think of it this way. But if it's not Gramil's skin, and it's big, and it's a part of something that's even remotely dangerous or evil or treacherous, and we reincarnate it, then what? We're, like you said, what if we don't? What if we do something else?
Just we'll consult Keith about this. All right.
Sure.
No,
Sure.
nothing more before then.
Not at all.
Just
I have to go do some shopping if anybody would like to go with me.
by the gods, Korric, put that thing away.
Amora hands the hand back to Korric. I also suggest we keep this hidden from Keith. Who knows what it will do to him mentally.
That's fair.
There's that poor man.
We should try and go find him.
With that, we all go out the door.
I do have something else quickly. If you don't mind. I did say I needed to bring something up with you all.
Go ahead.
Mainly the next port of call.
Permanently?
Oh, no. I think It's complicated, but you all saw who was there yesterday. Annie. She was supposed to be one of the main ones protecting Ilya. If she's joined his side, I have no idea what days Ilya is going to be in. I need to go home. If only just to make sure that my worries aren't justified. If we get there suitably well guarded, then you'll still have me as part of Gondra. Got no one to defend it anymore. I may be needed elsewhere.
Rhea, do you honestly think that's more important?
Oh, sorry you broke up.
Sorry. Rhea, do you honestly think that's more important right now?
Given what he may have discovered yesterday and early today, yes. I always thought it odd why he may have chosen her, but... Well, with me and Amora discussing things, we discovered two things. Amora's half... not Amora. Annie is half dragon.
I'm sorry, what?
Annie is half dragon.
What?
That was pretty much my reaction as well. I don't know how I didn't catch on to it earlier. But it may give us more information and a bit more of a helpful lead if we find out more about her. The only way we're going to do that is at Ilya. And secondly, why he's taken her, aside from the half-dragon thing.
Before we go any further with this, we don't really have any other leads right now on where to go, do we?
Actually, Amaro is waiting for you to finish your conversation.
Lovely. Okay. Continue, sorry.
Aside from that, why he's chosen to take her. It isn't just to get at me. He's replacing you, Kyrish.
Oh, there's no replacing me. Come on.
So you don't honestly think that he's already thought about what your reaction's going to be and how you were going to go home and leave us divided? Because I can't just leave you to go by yourself.
That's why I was saying we all go to Ilya.
I agree. We don't have any other leads right now.
Well,
That sound...
if we're headed to Ilya next, why don't we stop at Fiend? It is on the way.
What
And
are we
you
stopping in Fiend for?
I was going to bring that up, but I forgot what the name was.
You remember Fiend being in more of a Badlands type of area, and you remember that one of Pete's good friends actually lives in Ilya. Or, god damn it, lives in Fiend. And you remember that one of Pete's very good friends lived in Fiend. And you actually helped you fight the horde of undead that was running through the city.
If we stop at Fiend, we may be able to bolster our numbers more.
You ask why we should stop at these places. We need to rally every single person. No one should be left out of this. This is their homes as well. They deserve to fight for it if they wish to.
Believe me when I say if Ilya still stands, they'll be standing ready to fight.
And hey, just remember this, Rhea. All the people of Liba want to go to Ilya anyway. And you do not want to fuck with Toon. She is mean. You piss her off, she will stop your ass in a heartbeat and leave you there for a month or two.
So how much character knowledge do I have of this place that we're going to?
You know that it is actually wealthier than Tarn. It's very known
Been
for
there.
their...
Have I ever been there?
Yes. When you were traveling the land looking for a permanent home, you know that they are known for their alcohol. And you know a bunch of monks live in the area. You know that Pete actually trained with the head monk, Achu.
Kazune.
Bless you.
I was waiting for it.
Nice. I just wanted to kind of get a sense of what was going on in the city through acquaintances that I have there. Clearly, for the benefit of going in not unaware.
You need a reflective service in order to scry.
A reflective surface.
Mhm.
Right. So we're in this house.
Yep, there is a mirror in the bathroom.
Wonderful.
Right.
I will take it off the wall and I will set it down and take an hour and dry.
Bert, grab the turtle wax. Kyrish, come here and lean down.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, that could actually fucking work.
Oh, you're bloody well hilarious. Sad thing is, it would work.
Bert, you
And
go
how
get
clear the image would be.
you go get the mirror and you cast the spell, and I need to do a roll.
What do you do with Kyrish's head? Shh. Bert's pondering the orb.
No, it tickles.
Bert, you start scrying upon the mirror. Is there anyone specific? The Achu, are you looking for the bartender? Achu?
Bless you.
I think I would go with Achu.
Bless you.
Well, who would I have had more contact with?
Achu and the
I wanna think
bartender
about the
equally.
person Okay.
Bless you.
Well, let's go to the bar because that's where I'm going to hear the most conversations.
You focus on the bartender, and a short human blonde woman is cleaning glasses, and she perks up. Righto, how you feeling, Evelyn? Not better than yesterday. You, making something different. Feel a little bit tingly in the air. No. You immediately see Achu, the half-orc man, look around.
Bless you.
Then there's magic afoot. Well, we can't be having none of that, now can we? And you see him glow with a mint green start to form around his hand, and you can't see anything else.
So I can't see him anymore.
You can't see anything anymore.
So just the reflection in the mirror, like my
Yep.
spell's fizzled out or what?
Yep, your spell's done. But you did
Well,
notice that they were not in the bar, and they were in a dark room.
Last time I heard this much sneezing, I was being resurrected.
What did? Oh god.
Oh, low blow.
I've got allergy medicine for that. Fuck you. Anyways, okay. What's funny is, under the, you know how you said I had to have a shiny reflective thing?
Yeah, you have the mirror.
That's for a wizard, sorcerer, or bard focus. Cleric's focus is a holy water font, not costing less than 100 gold pieces.
You know
Huh.
what? Shush.
Sorry.
Read.
I just read it. Sorry, but yeah, I got a mirror. I can do
Oh.
it through a mirror. Sure. So I'm going to turn and talk to Rhea, and leave the room, go to find Rhea, and kind of pull her aside and say, "Can we have a moment, please? We need to talk to you about something."
This good or bad news?
It's just news. Let's leave it at that. No good or bad. Just
Okay.
news.
Right, you two have your moment. I'm going with Riku to go check on Keith.
Please do.
Is anyone coming with us?
Yes, Kyrish comes over holding the black dragon helmet and the gauntlets. I had talked with the dragons out in the desert. They wanted us to keep these, surprisingly. I had offered them to them for any burial or whatever ceremonies they might do, but I suppose they don't have any. And I thought, who better to wield them than yourself, Rhea? And with your newfound strength, Bird, perhaps you can make good use of them. And he hands the helmet to Bert and the gauntlets to Rhea.
You give me a helmet?
A black dragon scale helmet.
Ooh-wee.
Amora watches you walk past, and she kind of like takes a step away from it.
Do we notice her step away?
Oh yeah.
Laura?
There's a sad look on her face. How were these made?
Oh.
She doesn't know.
No, but I think Rhea's putting two and two together. It's like Trigger's girls.
Damn, you must have spent a fortune on these.
At one point, they were made through my greatest shame. And now, well, not as much less so, but I think it's shared amongst the group.
Your greatest shame?
Yes, this was the first dragon we had come across. Fuck, what was that name? Brock? No.
Riku, her head snaps forward. Oh, this is gonna be awkward.
Yeah. That's why I just started putting together.
You see Amora's eyes just not widen in panic, but in reminiscing, and you start to see she kind of crosses. She had her arms crossed, and then they turn into hugging herself, and you start to see what is now oddly normal for Amora to slowly wrap her wings around herself. Ironic. the captor turns into the protector. Oh, how ironic.
I'm sorry?
I was chained to that dragon.
Right.
She just cuts herself off and she silently walks out of the house, gently closing the door behind her.
Oh,
You know, can we just go 1 week without having a therapy session?
Look, I didn't want to see perfectly good armor just go to waste because honestly, I didn't want to wear it.
No, that's fine. Just, you all have issues talking about your problems until it gets into an awkward moment. I'm gonna make sure she doesn't get lost.
to be fair, it does feel like it's been a year since we've had it.
Yes. 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 Really does.
A lot's gone on.
Too much.
We are going to switch scenes. Away from the house. Away from the group going to try and find Keith.
Okay.
We go out to the desert. Where Keith is searching the battlefield for what he believes is his friend's ashes, shaped in a crystalline sword. He has no idea it's only half of his friend's ashes.
Come on, I know you've got to be around here somewhere. We were standing right here when I dropped it. Maybe with all the commotion it got kicked somewhere? It's gotta be, it's gotta be, it's gotta be.
Ash, how do you respond?
Maybe you should try just a little further along the passage. I could have sworn I saw something sparkling in the sand when I came into town.
His head shoots up.
Huh, I didn't think we were that close to the road. I guess it makes sense. Thank you, stranger. It's... Honestly, your timing is impeccable. We just dealt with a shit show, and not just but 8 hours ago.
Indeed, it's actually quite fascinating that such a battle occurred. I'm curious though, because I traveled quite a bit. Can you tell me what happened at all? And I'll assist you with looking for the blade. I'll see if I can find something. And he'll just simply have his arms crossed and just walk ahead while listening.
Well, with Goolins, we have a funeral passage where we send them off in the warmth of the sand with fire. We were getting prepared to enact final rites when we got ambushed.
Oh. That is rather uncouth of whoever chose to do such a thing. Huh.
I don't know, just some weird pink elf in a black leafy corset and a skirt. Rhea seemed to know her and they had a chat. But other than that, I'm not sure about the relationship of this pink elf and my friend, but...
Rather peculiar. Oh, I think I see something over here, and he'll travel further up along.
Keith he forsakes the road and dives into the sand, and He actually catches up to you quite easily in the sand. And he starts searching the area.
Okay. Ash is just gonna keep sort of absent-mindedly looking around, kicking sand about, trying to figure out something. He's still going to keep an eye out across just to make sure, due to the commented ambush, he's going to keep an eye out just in case.
Yeah, at first it was just two people. Just the pink elf and what I thought was my friend. But the body... the imposter wasn't him. It's that stupid Grog asshole.
And Ash, this name is very familiar to you because this is basically your master's right-hand man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Ash will just pause and simply just look to study Keith. Just sort of processing, watching him closely. Fascinated. Just sort of silent for a little too long.
Ah, sorry, these names probably don't mean anything to you. And also, I'm rude. I'm Keith, by the way. And you are?
Lovely to meet you, Keith. My name is Ash. I've traveled quite a lot.
He actually takes the time to look at you and actually look you over.
Judging by your armor, I could say so. And oh my.
Ash will just sort of like appear to look himself over. Quite the joys of almost 50 or so years. Gathering and collecting and becoming what I am.
You know, that armor kind of resembles hers a little bit.
Oh?
Oh, that's weird.
By whose armor, by chance?
Oh, a good friend of mine.
Oh.
It was really weird, though. This Grog character was actually wearing it. And she did not like it whatsoever. When we came up for training the other night, she done grabbed and took it and...
Peculiar. So how did she lose it if this fellow had it?
His somewhat gentle demeanor turns into anger.
She was taken from us. When we found her, she was nothing left but her undergarments.
Oh. It's rather unsightly. I mean, that would be horrendous. I'd be beside myself if my armor was taken.
She's a fighter, though, and a survivor of anything.
Mm-hmm.
But... it's just weird. They both have... they're all look based off of dragon. It's just weird. Just a lot of things just deal with dragons. It's weird.
I mean, they are rather terrifying and strong creatures.
Yeah, I mean, strong, yes, but terrifying if you piss them off.
Yes, I suppose that is the same with people, though.
Yeah, you have a point. I mean, you are quite tall. I think you're... holy shit, I have met someone that is taller than Kyrish.
Those
Kyrish,
others.
your front has been challenged. Go!
Kirish's head snaps out to the desert. What?
Yeah, is that so? It's been quite some time I've actually heard that somebody could be quite tall. I have yet to see somebody else my height. Are they close to my height by chance?
Hmm.
He crawls out onto the road. Mm,
He's about 3 feet shorter than you. So,
So almost to my shoulder then. Or just under it.
he
Sort of
he
like
looks at
vaguely
you.
gauges the height.
He looks at you.
if he was to your shoulders, I highly doubt you would have a 3-foot head. So I'd
Fair
say
enough. Sort of just seems to be silent, like it's hard to read because he's got the helmet on, but he's just quietly thinking. Sort of just turns to pace. So you can go.
Oh, wait. Oh, something's shining over here.
And you see
Oh.
Keith bolt.
Damn it, it's just a piece of glass. Fuck.
At least it's a lead.
But I wasn't standing anywhere near glass.
I mean, you said that it's sand and fire, right? The heat with the sand would turn to glass.
Well, we do it a certain way so that way the fire doesn't actually touch the sands. But when Omora was going whatever the fuck she was doing, she turned the sand to glass, but I wasn't standing near her when that happened. So it doesn't make sense for it to be glass.
Maybe we could... If you said it was glass, you could try to figure out what position you were from there. Maybe you were in, over in that direction? He just randomly points. How does that sound?
Possibly.
Would you be leading him away from town?
Yes.
He takes off further off.
Ash is just gonna take a moment, arms crossed, watching him just take off and just look back to town. Just watching. He's just humming to himself.
As you turn back to look, you see figures that are seemingly coming out from under the sand. And there is none other than Kyrish.
He'll just stand there. Like, just still as a statue, just sort of just watching. Waiting for the visitors to approach.
Ooh, okay. We will take this moment then to switch scenes.
I scryed on. Yeah, an associate in the town. And were they?
Ilya or the other town?
They weren't in a bar, they were in a dark room. Bartender was still washing glasses yet, though, yes?
It's what it looked like.
What were they doing in this room?
Well, it looked like, for the brief glimpse that I got, that they didn't seem like they were under duress or anything, and then this dude did some kind of magical shit with his hand, and I couldn't see anything anymore.
Well, given that we did see the king using it to talk to turkey feathers before, can be assumed that if you're aware of magic, then you could be aware that someone's scrying on you. Like the feeling when you feel like you're being watched. Just now, just put the paranoia in quite literally everyone for the idea of when they're being watched.
So,
Can't really say for certain if that's a good or a bad sign. Does mean that they're planning something, but whether that's
like I said, it was not good or bad news. It was just news. It's information to further prepare us for whatever the hell comes next.
we should be cautious.
You want to accompany me to the armor? I need to go to the armorer.
Sure, I'm pretty sure they've got enough people out there looking for Keith at the moment. And as said, given everything that's happened, better to go in groups. One quick thing though before we do.
Hmm.
She's gonna head over to her room, just gently crack the door open.
You see Mr. Flibble and Darling having a flipper wing slapping fight. Rolling around, like hopping and rolling around on the floor as they're basically beating the crap out of each other. They're being quiet about it, but they're still beating the hell out of each other.
Guys.
They both look
Break
at
it
you.
up, you two. I'm going to need a bit of help.
They both simultaneously just raise a wing and a flipper as they look at you, and they smack the other upside the head. Like one last hit.
So,
What do you need?
the help I'm going to need is this. Flibble, I'm going to need you to stay back here and keep an eye on Sage. Just in case. Darling, I need you to come with me just in case anything happens at all to Sage, or anything happens to us. The go-between link between you and Sage will be able to inform Sage of it. Or if something happens to Sage, that'll be able to inform you of it. Therefore, if something does happen, the other side can act on it. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yep, I can do that. Darling caws and nods his head and flaps up without, giving a complimentary kick to Mr. Flibble's head and sits upon your shoulder. Mr. Flibble wanders out, looks around, sees a knife that has been left on the table, grabs it, and then he goes back into Sage's room.
If anyone we don't know that you don't trust and such tries to do anything, without good reason, because I really doubt anyone else will be able to get in here anyway, you know what to do.
Don't need to tell me twice.
Alright, we're good, Bert.
What's good?
Protection and a two-way communication just in case anything happens back here or to us. She just motions to Darling.
He waves a wing.
Okay. How's that gonna work?
The familiar two-way bond that Darling and Sage have. If anything happens to us, Darling can send a message back to Sage. If anything happens to Sage, Darling will know.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Trust me, we found this out because of Lux.
Okay.
Well, how do you think Kyrish found out about me and Sage first?
Darling lets out a laughing caw.
So, to the armory?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Alright, lead the way. And as
He
they're heading
does.
out, just for extra protection, even though he knows that Amora had a bit of a reaction to him, she's going to slide the gauntlets on.
Do you take your old ones off?
I'll exchange them because I'm assuming that these ones will be better than default gauntlets.
Yeah. You put them on and they fit very nicely. It doesn't feel rough on your hand. And it looks like spikes, but upon closer inspection, it's actually teeth. On the outer edge of your arm for both gauntlets, and it looks to be like small spikes. Not like gaudy looking spikes, but it looks like studded. Upon the knuckles look studded.
Did we ever find out the name of this dragon?
You did. Sorgayan.
If she just slides them on in Elven, she'll just close her eyes and just say, "Lend me your protection, Sargayan, so that I may right the wrongs we did to you."
Darling will give a small, gentle, comforting head nuzzle. You head out of the house, and people are starting to come out of their houses, and you notice that there's Ishtok standing with a very stocky lizard folk. He has dark green scales, and he is twice as muscular as Keith is.
Can we help you?
Ishtok looks. Lady Rhea.
Oh,
Master
Ishtok.
Bird.
Sorry, I didn't
Ishtok.
recognize you for a second there.
How are you, Ishtok?
Okay, for most. Trying to organize, inventory? What you mean to say is inventory. Inventory, yes. See what people have. What have extra.
I see.
Sonus is metal worker. What he means to say is I'm basically a blacksmith.
Oh, right. We were just looking for you. But
Do you need repairs or something?
I'm looking for enhancement possibilities.
What kind of enhancements?
I'm looking for a shirt like this, and I kind of take my robe off a little bit to show him that that I have a chain, a chain shirt,
What?
and I like the way I'm allowed to move in this, if that makes
Flexibility is survivability.
I'm wondering if you could replicate this armor of mine in a certain material. It's called mithril.
He
As
laughs.
you can tell, I'm pretty short and of stature, and anything I can make lighter on my person means I can carry more weight of maybe companions in an emergency.
Here's the problem with that. The mithril mines are in no man's land.
what do you mean by no man's land?
The source of all this goddamned evil.
Do you
They're
know where
full
the
of it. Go on.
Do you know the location of the place of the mithril mines?
He looks to Ishtok. I thought you said they were smart. Give break. Hard day. Hard night. Respect, Gondra.
Okay, well, if it's that hard of a material to come across, then
Oh, it's not hard at all. It's just
Dangerous.
anything. Yes, considering it's in the lands surrounding the castle.
Oh. By castle, I'm assuming you mean Turkey Feather's castle.
He looks to Ishtok. Bad guy. Oh, right. Yeah, his castle. Anything of reptilian blood, if you even resemble. If you have, like, anything reptilian, well, you start to feel kind of weird headed into Feme. We don't know why. But it's almost nigh impossible to find any lizard folk in Misa.
That complicates situations a lot.
Yes, wanted to send reinforcements, but can't risk losing what little have. We could send the Tarnians over. No, must ask first before demand. Not part of Gula, not under laws. Not even have ruler yet, so can't even enforce.
That's the whole thing as well.
Well, if you want some... Is there anything else I can help you with armor-wise?
Can you think of anything better?
what's that? Sorry.
Is there anything else you need?
Well, I do have this. I do have a desire for a weapon.
He looks at the weapons on your back. Those are some finely crafted weapons. What more could you need?
Right is the spice of life.
Well, you're right. I do have some really, really nice weapons. And I would like to inquire about a specific weapon. It's a chain.
Yes, usually most weapons are pain.
No, not pain. It is a chain. You know what a chain is. It has links molded together in
Don't insult my intelligence.
Okay, so you understand what I'm talking about. Let me explain this weapon to you so that maybe, or do you have a piece of charcoal and a flat of wood that I could draw it out?
Are you looking for a whip chain, a chain to hold people together, a chain for throwing things to capture them? What is the purpose of this chain?
Yes.
Yes does not answer my question.
Yes, this chain, I want to be able to do a lot of what you just said. It is a simple Spiked chain. Has little spikes on it.
So you want a chain with spikes on it?
Yeah,
You want an all-in-one functional chain?
it. Yes, I would like, yes. I would like the chain to be strong in a way that it can't just be broken like normal snapping of steel can sometimes happen. You know how to make it hardened, I guess? I'm not too familiar with the metallurgy.
Tempered?
Yeah, that's the word.
And this is why I am the blacksmith.
Yes, yes. I've heard of this really, really hard metal. It's called adamantine.
What the fuck is that?
It's a really hard metal, but you can get really hard metal from doing things in the fires, I've heard. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Alright, I know the basis of what you want. So... you know what? I'll work on that. And I'll work on the armor design for... What's her name again? Lady Imora.
Mora?
Yes. Noticed she has no armor, so thought tell Sonos to give her at least armor before leave. Whenever you see her next, send her my way. I'll get her measured out nice and right. Do you go back up to the surface, or what do you guys do now?
Well, is your business done here?
I believe, I mean, yeah, I suppose it is. I know there was something else I was thinking about, talking about to them. Guess it'll have to wait.
Alright. I guess we should try and find the others. Been a while, and given our current situations, knowing them, they're probably in danger.
The scene, as you go to follow the others upstairs, this scene switches to Kyrish, Amora, Riku, Mushu, Kriki.
Yes.
And Kyrish, when you come up, you don't see Keith. But in the distance, you see Amora just standing there.
Menacingly.
And Riku and Mushu are slightly behind her. And they're looking at a figure. A dark figure standing in the middle of the road heading away from Gula, close to the battle site.
Do we can see this, Keith? Or no?
You cannot see Keith, and the figure is too far away to see if you recognize or not.
Well, it certainly looks like it could be Keith. Yeah, let's go.
Alright. God, I really do need to see Holly for more clothes, because this poor outfit's been through the ringer. Or I
Yes,
could
think
just...
we could all use some more garments.
I mean, I can make you some. You can't make anything from nothing, Riku. Oh, yeah, good point. We should all just follow Korric and just not wear clothes. That's easy for you to say. You can easily take your tops off, but it's apparently socially frowned upon for ladies to have their tops off.
I'm not going to complain
Well,
if
well,
you do.
Make sure you press Z on the target.
Press Z for titties out?
Yes. Yes.
Everyone just turns back to look at your statement, and you see Amora kind of have like this, like, I don't know how to respond to that as her cheeks slowly flush. You know what? If you give me those free cops, sure, I'll walk around topless.
Oh, dear God.
And you can't use Mage Hand to do it. Whoa, we raised the stakes!
Kyrish just stands there, just blinking, like, wait, what?
now registering.
Rifle rifle.
Damn, man!
Oh,
Damn, son,
God.
looks like you got told.
I'm just trying to register what I've been told.
She fully
Right,
turns.
anyways, Keith, yes. Yep.
She relaxes a little bit as she chuckles, and you all start walking towards the figure, and the closer you get, you realize it's not Keith, because Keith does not have wings. And he is also not tall. And he doesn't wear dark armor.
Interesting. Wonder who that could be. I mean, surely he's seen Keith, right?
He might have. He does look like a seasoned fighter or adventurer. Look at the state of that armor.
Anyone can wear armor and look like a seasoned warrior.
No, but that's some nice armor. Ash, you see this group start to approach you. What do you do?
He's just going to let them approach. His wings flutter a little bit, and he's just curious. But it's hard to tell because of all the fucking armor and the helmet. They'll be able to see his head tilt as they approach.
What kind of wings? Are they feathered? Like, are they
Feathered.
coney? Okay.
Bert and Rhea, you come up and you see a dark figure out in the distance, and everyone is, Korric, you're also with Bert and Rhea.
Okay.
You see Kyrish, Amora, Riku, Mushu, Kirky approaching this figure. They look like normal, like they're normally walking. Casual.
Geek casuals.
This would be quite an intimidating figure, then.
Mm-hmm.
As you get closer, Amora stops, dead in her tracks. You see Kirky bump into her wing, Riku bump into her leg. Kyrish, do a reflex save to see if you bump into her as well.
21.
You see her stop and see the other two bounce off her, and you how do you stop yourself? Do you just stop yourself, or do you sidestep?
Probably sidestep.
You sidestep, make a will check. The special will save.
Brother, get the will save. The heavy will save.
God. That is not a kosher thought. Alright. What's going on here? Because this is normally for when I'm casting magic.
Well, this is also for your mindset, because this will affect your magic, because the figure in front of you is none other than the figurehead of the force that destroyed your home.
Drama.
I just gotta
How
say
you
this now.
doing?
I just gotta
He
say
just
this now,
does.
but why does is it just me, or is there someone up further taller than Kyrish?
He just stops dead in his tracks. He did just at first sidestep to miss them, but it's you.
Ash is just seeing the group stop and like properly turns and just lifts a hand and just does like a little finger wiggle, like hello.
Amora starts shaking, and Kyrish, you feel a death grip on your forearm, and she is shaking. Bert and Rhea, as you near closer, you see everyone is stopped, and Amora is holding Kirish's forearm.
Are we interrupting something here?
I don't know. Amora we got close to this figure standing here. Gonna ask him about Keith, and then Amora just stopped dead. She's shaking like a leaf, and Kyrish just said it's you.
You're just gonna look to the new figure.
You have no idea who this is.
Look to them. Look to them too. Look back
Kirish's
to the
going
tall
to
figure.
rip his arm out of her grip.
Wait.
How strongly is she holding me?
Pretty damn tight. Do a strength check.
Riku,
Oof.
you're normally the wise one to ask when it comes to this kind of stuff. Is time travel a thing?
I'm just gonna have Ash just be like standing there, just like putting his like fingers together, just like so hi.
I don't know.
Is it just me, or could this person quite literally be taken for a fusion between Kyrish and Amora?
21.
You try to rip it out the first time, and you feel the tension as Amora's arm goes with you, but when you bring it up above your arm, she has no choice but to let go.
He's running forward.
No,
Okay.
no,
He's preparing
Kyrish,
spell.
Kyrish, no, he's dangerous, no!
No answer.
Oh,
Well, there goes my theory out the window.
Kyrish, you are running towards, this figure.
hello?
You're running towards this figure. Amora is shaking, screaming after Kyrish. Ash, how do you respond?
Ash is just gonna put his arms out, like he's expecting Kyrish to hug him.
Kyrish,
Meanwhile,
what?
Kyrish is drawing his flaming battle axe, imbuing it with a spell.
What spell?
Seeking Ray.
You run forward, and
Oh, I'm just testing.
you run towards this fellow, and you hear a faint voice in the distance.
Hey, Ash? I can't find anything. There's nothing shiny over here. Have you found it yet?
No, not quite yet. Ash will just yell over his shoulder. Just keep looking.
you hear a slew of curses coming from behind Kyrish. You run up. Has Kyrish moved within your threat range?
Yes.
How do you react?
Let's see. I would
I'm
like to command.
Oh, I was fully expecting you to hug him, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna hug him.
Kyrish, you raise your battle axe and you go to strike, and you're thinking this is, wow, he is actually taller than me. It'll actually, the harder he will be when he falls.
Take him at the shins!
And he starts to bend over. So you're like, great, I have access to his neck. And then, that would be considered a grapple. So, Ash, roll a grapple check. Kyrish, roll an opposing strength check. Yes.
17.
38.
Kyrish, you go to smack, and you were being hugged by this fiend. Amora just, her legs are shaking. Don't hurt him. Please do not hurt him.
In this process, albeit I probably didn't get the swing off, but did the axe touch him?
I would say at some point yes, because this is a 10-foot being. So, Ash, as you...
Yes?
Yes. So, Ash, as you hug Kyrish, you hear the tink of his axe just tap against your armor, and you feel quite warm as something magical off of his blade comes off and attacks you. Roll the Seeking Ray damage.
That's 16 points of electricity.
As he's hugging, he's just completely shrugged off the pain. He's like, it's so lovely to see you again. How have you been, Kyrish? He's just being super fucking friendly.
Can he even talk? Like, is Ash just like crushing him?
No, he's just hugging him, like holding Kyrish against him. He hasn't started crushing yet.
Oh, yeah, okay, lovely. He's trying to pull away. Go with me.
What? It'd be lovely to render you down into another belt.
Yeah,
Friend.
Lovely to render you into... Let
Oh,
go!
Take me to dinner
No.
first.
I have no
This is
idea
like-
what's going on.
How much of this is actually spoken out loud that I could
Uh,
hear?
Everything Ash says can be heard, except for the belt comment.
Might be a little muffled on Kirish's end since he's
Yeah.
like jammed into his armor.
Okay,
Amora.
so I gotta make a fucking listen check to be able to hear that you don't like the fact that you're being hugged by the giant chicken, and I should do something about it.
Oh, you can probably hear him. It's pretty loud.
Amora looks to Rhea. I need the other blade. I need your other blade.
That blade. Be careful. It should take out.
Amora, when you hand her the blade, she takes it, and you see her dip a little bit from the weight, but she stands up. Don't you fucking dare hurt him. You've caused enough pain. Let him go. I'm the one you want anyway, isn't it?
Well, funnily you say that. You're part of the problem.
She's gonna side eye
You're a
Bird, like-
personal target.
She's just gonna side eye Bird, like, should we be helping with this?
I got 9.
Every fucking time I roll initiative! 5! For fuck's sake!
Hi, Kyrish. We're going on a date.
That was an at 20.
6.
As everyone prepares, Mushu offers a hand to Riku. We should probably stay out of this. There seems to be enough bodies, but we'll stay on standby just in case he decides to bring any friends to the party. And I'll be available for healing too. Ash, you hear another muffled yell.
It's not here either. I'm coming back. It might be closer to you. This is way too far.
Ash will yell out, certainly. Your friends are here. They seem rather agitated.
Oh, what the fuck?
One of them tried to stab me.
What?
I don't know. He just yells back.
You don't hear a reply.
Oh, wait a minute. How do you know Kyrish? I didn't take him for the huggy type.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well.
He pokes his head from under the sand. How do you know Kyrish? I didn't take him for the huggy type.
Keith, he's a bloody asshat! Kill him!
We're friends.
Are you sure
he
you're
ran
not?
at me wanting a hug.
Hug your... get off of me!
Why? You're the one who
Accept
ran
the
at
love,
me.
Kyrish. Accept the love. It's good for you.
See?
Is it because it's not Amora?
Oh.
Oh.
He's destroyed everything!
Apparently I
Okay.
stole his girl when he was younger.
Thank you all so much for watching. Let us know by giving us a thumbs up. Let us know what your favorite part of the episodes were down below. And if you subscribe
Do it.
and ring the bell, that only lets us know that you enjoy our stuff and want more of it. And
Do
we
it,
all...
I'll
or
find you.
Kyrish will summon freaking rats on you.
Yeah, pretty much. So...
Ash will be at the end of your bed at 8 p.m. tonight.
we all hope you are enjoying yourselves. And we will see you next time.
Toodles.
Bye!
DMobo out.